Good morning, gamers. This is SomniaSky, and welcome back to more Let's Play Persona 5 Royal. Today, before we move on with the plot, I just wanted to talk a bit about this period of downtime. This is the longest stretch of downtime in the game, with over 20 in-game days to do whatever you want. Now, I spent most of this period wrapping up confidants like no one's business. Chances are, there are some that you won't be able to do in your playthrough due to social stats. It's also likely that there's other stuff you want to do and work on, like, you know, battle stats or getting more social stats, so on and so forth. So, for part of today's episode, even though very little new stuff is available, I just wanted to talk a bit about what you can do during this time besides confidants. Now, if you're playing Royal, anytime from 7:26 to 7:30, you can trade a millimeter MRE. You can get those from the vending machine in the airsoft shop. You just have to gotcha pull for it until you get it. You can take that millimeter MRE and give it to Trader Sakai in Kichijoji for the factorization guide. That's a book that you can read in-game that will increase how much knowledge you gain from studying, which can help you build up that stat if you need to work on it for confidants and whatnot. On the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th days of August, you'll also receive mementos requests, but these ones are a little bit special. You'll have to work 2 days at different part-time jobs in order to actually move on with them. One of them you get requires working at Crossroads twice, the other at the flower shop, and then the third at the convenience store. One of those 2 times can be your first shift if you haven't already unlocked those already. Other than that, you should know that activities involving the school are more or less closed off for this downtime period, so no library studying, no classroom questions, no Kawakami downtime. If you haven't gotten far enough with Kawakami, you'll be blocked off from getting any further with her confidant path too, up to a certain point. You can study elsewhere there, so it's not really a huge loss, so knowledge should be fine for you. If you need guts, doing the Big Bang Burger Challenge nightly is always extremely worth your while. If you eventually gain access to a place called Jinbocho Booktown, I think you could get that through the Star Confidant, or failing that, I'm pretty sure you can read about it in another book somewhere else. If you get access to Booktown, buy every book you can and read them, and eventually you will unlock a book called Knowing the Heart, which expands the possible technicals you can perform in combat. Very, very useful. That's exclusive to Royal, though. And if that wasn't enough for you, also remember that every Sunday in-game you can get the Aojiro juice in Shibuya for free. So no time, well, not for free money-wise, but like no time requirement, which is essentially free since money is whatever in this game. So if you're trying to boost your social stats, that would be a good thing to do every Sunday in-game. Now, during this time, some of your party members will also try to schedule time with you. This won't actually give you like confidant ranks directly, but it'll give you more affection points with that confidant and might help you rank them up if you didn't quite get it during your conversations with them. And sometimes it can also reward you with social stat progress as well. You could also buy a game console from the secondhand shop in Yongen, since Ryuji will sometimes call you to ask to play video games, but as far as I am aware, you can't really buy games yet? I'm not really sure. My notes weren't super clear on this, so I don't really know, but it's not really a big loss. Ryuji is so easy to get to max rank that you probably already did it right now anyway, so what does that matter? Yeah. Now, one big thing that's really good to get out of the way is catching up on the party's ranks for darts and billiards. Billiards improves your technicals and is a good way to get, it's good to get it up as much as you can possibly do, as fast as you can do it if you have the proficiency stat for it. Darts helps with your baton passes, and once again, I'm going to put on the screen the responses you need in order to get a round 4 win with every party member. Don't worry about getting Futaba's baton pass. You won't be able to do it right now, but I'll just say this for the future. Don't worry about Futaba's, and if you're holding out on doing darts just to catch her as one of your extra dart partners, don't bother. I'll explain why in a future episode, but don't bother. Other than that, if you're trying to boost your battle stats, for Joker you can work out at the gym or at home, or you could spend the day meditating in the temple at Kijijoji. You can boost your ally stats by visiting the jazz club with them every night or so, but I will say that if you're playing on like normal difficulty, none of this is like at all super necessary. The game's easy enough as it is, really, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Maybe you want to consider this if you've been playing on Merciless, but I am not, and I don't particularly care on making anything specific for that, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. The most important thing about all this time you have is that ultimately you should just do whatever you want to. Sure, there's like an ultimately optimal choice, but that was never something I wanted to really cover in this LP, since a lot of other people have done that sort of a thing before on NeoSeeker, GameFAQs, or other places like that. Places that I've gotten a lot of information on for resources, but I'm choosing to ignore the optimal route here because I think Persona 5 Royal really lends itself well to playing the way you want to play. So for your first playthrough, I recommend prioritizing your confidants, and then if you can't really get anywhere with any of them, prioritize the social stats that you need to get any further with them. That being said, I will say that if you are strapped for time and don't really know what to do with it, there are some confidants you can afford to kind of let slip or ignore, just because of their more limited usefulness. EYE for sure, you could probably just ignore. Guns are better in Royal, but still not that great. Oya is also not that great of a confidant in terms of abilities, because a lot of the times you can kind of... What she offers is something you don't need to worry about if you simply are good at hiding. And I would even argue that Chihaya is probably one you could let slip, at least for now, and probably ignore for a good while. Just because even though getting her to rank 5 in Persona 5 Royal is pretty worth your while because of what she can do, it's not like the most important thing. And oftentimes if it's a choice between, like, say, ranking up your proficiency so you can get further with Yusuke, if it's a choice between that and working on Chihaya, you probably want to spend more time getting towards Yusuke, so yeah. It's also worth noting that Sojiro is still stuck at rank 4 and will be until the end of this downtime period, whereas Kawakami, if you get her to rank 7, you'll be stuck there for a little while and you won't be able to progress either. I don't know for sure if Akechi and Maruki are stuck at 5 at this point, but I heavily believe that to be the case. I don't actually have anything in my notes about that, but I wouldn't worry about them too much. When they're ready and available again, you'll get plenty of opportunities to rank up with them. So I wouldn't worry yourself about that so much right now. Anyway, that's all I kind of wanted to talk about before we move on with the actual episode, so let's get on with the plot, shall we?
Back when I met Shiho, when she saved me, I realized that personal relationships are something to be treasured. That's why I'm not going to run away anymore. I'll face myself head on. This time, it's my turn to help someone. But I'm still kind of worried. Do you think you could help me? You can lean on me too, if you need it. Good. I feel like we finally see each other eye to eye. I'm so glad I met you.
I am thou, thou art I. Thou hast turned a vow into a blood oath. Thy bond shall become the wings of rebellion and break the yoke of thy heart. Thou hast awakened the ultimate secret of the lovers, granting thee infinite power.
All right. All right.
growing within me.
All right.
Instead, I want to head an organization that will destroy the lawless and help rescue victims. I'm glad you think so. That is the justice I aim for. I also believe it will be a continuation of my father's legacy. Honestly, it's a little strange that I found the true meaning of my studies outside of my studies. I think now I'll be able to see the world even more differently. Thank you for all your help. Must have been difficult babysitting the uptight Miss President, right? Even so, I'm glad I asked you.
I am thou, thou art I. Thou hast turned a vow into a blood oath. Thy bond shall become the wings of rebellion and break the yoke of thy heart. Thou hast awakened to the ultimate secret of the priestess, granting thee infinite power.
All right. All right.
I can sense it. The power within me has grown. Now, it's been born anew.
All right.
Isn't today our deadline for dealing with Medjed? Futaba's still asleep too. This won't be good.
Hey. There's something I came to do. Today's the day Wakaba passed. I do this every year. Here, I've got a cup for you too. Futaba reminds me so much of her mother. She's a smart girl. Doesn't just go with the flow either. Wakaba, your work and your kid were so fulfilling for you. Why'd you have to die so suddenly? Oh, that reminds me. You saw me talking to that prosecutor, and I mean, that woman in the suit, right? I remember you were real bothered by it. She might come back, so I guess I should tell you about it. That woman was trying to get information on Wakaba's research out of me.
That's what we heard in the palace.
You don't need to know what the research was about. Just know there was some trouble around it. Obviously, Wakaba got dragged into that as well. Now, they ruled her death as suicide. But I've got my doubts.
Doubts? Could she have been killed?
Supposedly, there were people who wanted to take her research and use it for their own benefit. Don't get me wrong, though. I don't have a lick of evidence. That's why I haven't told Futaba any of this. I don't want to cause her any more trouble.
It sounded like she had suspicions of her own based on what she said in the palace.
Still, there's one thing I regret. It was right before Wakaba died. She told me, I think I might die. I brushed it off, thinking it was just a joke. But if I had just taken her seriously... That's another reason I took Futaba in. Redemption. She went through such horrible things. Those heartless adults just yelled at the poor girl. Hey, how do you heal emotional scars? Of course, sorry. Futaba!
old.
Huh?
You can't sell this.
Never mind that, but how did you get here?
I walked?
You're okay?
Was that bad?
That's not it. I'm just shocked to see you out of the house.
I'm sorry I worried you.
It's all right.
By the way, what's the date today?
It's the 21st.
I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, that's it. Let's take care of it now. Come. It's my turn to help out. Medjed. Now how do we cook them? Violent much?
Hey, Futaba. We don't have much time left. Are you sure you could do this?
The kitty talked? Is this a dream? I'm going back to sleep.
It is not a dream! Get up! Say something!
Right.
Now hurry it up!
I guess it doesn't matter. Let's get cracking.
You're just tapping away over there. Are you sure this will work? Hey, Futaba! I don't think she can hear me. Talk about intense concentration. This place is so messy. I'm surprised she could focus at all. Futaba, you should really clean your room a bit. She's not listening. Oh well. Just waiting around is boring. Let's clean the place up. Whew. It looks a little better now, don't you think? Well, Futaba, we're done on our end. Are you finished yet? She can't hear a word I'm saying. Guess we'll just have to keep waiting.
I'm done!
What's up? Something happened?
It's finished.
Finished? What is?
It's so clean. Why?
We cleaned it. Anyway, is it true? Did you really take care of Medjed?
I handled them, and someone else handled my room. I don't understand, but this is good.
Futaba? Hey, Futaba, what's wrong? She's sleeping. Well, it looks like it's been taken care of. I guess we should get home and sleep too.
So Futaba's awake? Awesome. And has Medjed been taken care of? Or, more importantly, how's Futaba doing? She's back asleep. Seriously? She must have been quite exhausted. I can't say I blame her at all. If Medjed's been effective, it would surely make the news. That should be enough to confirm whether or not the deed's been done. Then why don't we all watch the news together? Yes, we should meet up at LeBlanc as usual. See you tomorrow, guys!
We should be in the clear now, right?
Without a sign, without grasping it.
What's up?
So you're finally up, huh? Don't slack off just because you're on summer vacation.
Yo, you look tired.
We've made ourselves at home.
Late last night, it was discovered that someone has tampered with the hacker group Medjed's website. The site's main page now displays what is thought to be the mark belonging to the Phantom Thieves. More so, the personal information of a Japanese man, a possible Medjed member, was illegally publicized.
Aren't these the guys people have been up in arms about?
Medjed has yet to issue an official reply. Furthermore, their previously announced cleanse of Japan has remained unimplemented for now. Some speculate that they have taken this series of events seriously and ultimately canceled their plan.
Yeah.
Yes!
What are you all smirking about? Well, stop it. You're gonna drive away all my customers.
After the commercial break, we will be asking guests from various fields about this turn of events.
But there ain't any customers.
Can it? My customers are on summer vacation too.
Oh crap, I just realized our break's almost over.
There are still 10 days left.
I want to go somewhere, but we can't just leave Futaba-chan alone.
Some things still concern me too. Like that research.
Oh, did you just get up?
Good morning.
It seems she's cautious of us.
Hey, why don't we go upstairs? If any customers come, she'll be even more afraid.
Why don't you go with them, Futaba? Have fun. It's about time my regulars show up anyway, so I don't want you guys loitering around my store.
The fact that there were no damages due to the hacker's actions is but an afterthought. The issue I want to make clear is the attitude of the police, and more importantly, the government.
What do you mean?
Are they doing their best to find an effective countermeasure against these phantom thieves? Is it not the government's duty to create a society where its citizens can live without worry? Unfortunately, the current cabinet is powerless. As such, they should be disbanded. I believe now is the time for me to risk my political career in hope of making a new reality. A new political system that goes beyond parties or factions. An ideal country of peace and order.
This politician seems quite promising.
I have to agree. I hope he can work to ease the anxieties of the elderly.
What do you think, boss?
Oh, sorry. I wasn't listening.
So the Phantom Thieves only stole the heart of Futaba Sakura? And Medjed was in turn defeated by her real-world hacking abilities? This does correlate to the facts as we know them. If he's telling the truth, then Wakaba Ishiki didn't commit suicide. Did a third party target her life with the goal of destroying her research? Wakaba's death was 2 years ago. That also coincides with when the incident started occurring. Does this other metaverse user that Madarame and Kaneshiro mentioned really exist? Earlier, I briefly mentioned about those psychotic breakdown incidents that have alarmed the public. All of a sudden, people will lose consciousness or become violent. A situation as incomprehensible as that can't be explained away as troubled social conditions. I suspect that these cases are all connected to a larger, man-made plot. The method involved always muddled the explication, but your story has virtually confirmed its viability. Although I wouldn't have expected a new criminal to come to light from your testimony. What did your group think of this other metaverse user? How self-centered of you. The Phantom Thieves tamper with people's hearts without asking consent. How is that different? Well, no matter how you thought of them, there can be no doubting your resolve. Are those incidents because of you or someone else? Either way, I will get to the bottom of this. Now, let's move on to your next crime. Kunikazu Okumura. You should know who he is, considering what happened. Your testimony regarding this incident will be serious. I'm sure you understand why. Answer my next question carefully. What did you do to this Okumura?
To think, the cognitive version of a person would transform into such a horrible monster and attack us. That means our enemies aren't limited to shadows.
I thought the other people were just victims, like the slaves at the castle or the walking ATMs.
Even though they seem to be alive, they're only part of the backdrop. The environment. In other words, the palace ruler determines the form and strength of their cognitions. I would have loved to ask Futaba's mother how far along she was with her research.
Research, huh? She was looking into that cognitive science stuff, yeah?
If we put together all the information we've gathered up to this point, abuse of cognitive science can lead to death, and it may even relate to the psychotic breakdown incidents. Considering the cognitive aspect, I sense a strong connection between it and the metaverse.
On top of that, the research might have been stolen and used by someone else.
You mean those guys that showed Futaba-chan the fake suicide note?
If that is the case, those people are unforgivable.
Hey, Futaba, is there anything else you can remember? She is quite difficult.
That smell.
Come on, no fair!
Hey, can I snag a bite? Meanie.
Why don't we take a short break? I've been thinking, even if Futaba is a genius, could she really crush an international hacker organization that easily?
The one who taunted the Phantom Thieves was a guy in Japan. I knew the Medjed members in Japan weren't anything special, so I wasn't worried.
How do you know that?
Because I'm the founder.
What do you mean? Should we take that literally?
Yep, it was only me at first, back when I was referred to as the Hacker of Justice. But since I stayed anonymous, a bunch of guys from all over the world started using the name.
And those were the ones committing cybercrimes.
It was a hassle to expose all of them, so I just left them be.
So Futaba was the true Medjed, and we were freaking out over some weak-ass dipshits? You should have told us from the start, Futaba.
I discarded the Medjed name a while ago. I'm Alibaba now.
Futaba, what do you want to do now? Since you know our secret, we'd like you to join our team.
Okay.
Just like that?
This may even ensure our investigation of mementos goes along smoothly.
Well, I guess.
Well, Futaba's real amazing. She's gonna be a big help for us, huh?
Say, Futaba, how did you find out about us?
Secret.
Where did you learn to hack?
Private.
When did you obtain the nav?
I refuse to answer.
Futaba-chan sure is unique. Still, it'll be a problem if she doesn't open up to us some more.
At the very least, we need to be able to communicate normally with her.
What should we do?
How?
First, we'll need to help her open up to us. If we each spend an entire day with her, maybe she'll get more used to being around us.
I see. We do have the time thanks to summer vacation.
We can begin tomorrow.
Let's go to the beach! There'll be tons of people there. Plus, we got totally dried out in that desert.
That's a great idea! I forgot I hadn't gone to the beach yet.
Excuse me?
I'll come by tomorrow. See you then.
Let me help as well. I don't have anything planned.
Thanks. We can set a schedule with everyone else depending on when they're free.
Okay! I really do this?
Why me?
Stress is the enemy of beauty, you know.
How can I stay calm about this?
I understand how you feel.
Thanks to the incident with those hackers, people are calling us incompetent. And on top of all that, the Phantom Thieves are claiming justice is on their side. Don't make me laugh.
Medjed was dealt with by either the Phantom Thieves themselves or some avid supporter. There are no tracks whatsoever, so they must be quite skilled. Either way, the general public recognizes the Phantom Thieves as the subjugating party.
They're gaining support and influence much faster than we could have anticipated.
It is indeed an abnormal situation. I'm beginning to suspect mass manipulation of some kind. It's even possible that a powerful person is behind them, plotting the psychotic breakdowns. If only I had realized sooner.
It's rare to hear you speak in that tone.
For the sake of my justice, I won't forgive them.
Shit, I'm supposed to read this. Hey, I heard some people talking about us on the train home. They were saying how awesome they think the Phantom Thieves are. I've heard some things too. It's becoming a huge topic of conversation. To be fair, the casualties from a Medjed attack would have been massive. It's no surprise they revere us for preventing it. Good to hear. Yeah, it's really all thanks to Alibaba. You were a great help. It was nothing. Oh, that reminds me. Remember that stuff about ATMs and banks just stopping? That wasn't Medjed, was it? Nope, that was totally separate. So more people were overacting to mere coincidence? Either that or those rumors were never true to begin with. You seem to be quite talkative in these conversations. Is that so? I'll shut up then. I don't think I get it, but I'm pretty sure she's angry. You gotta apologize, Yusuke. B? Why?
Hey, is this really going to be okay? I'm worried about how things will be from now on. Our master would like a word with you. Stand up straight and listen closely, inmate.
It seems you freed the heart of a frenzied girl and saved her from her haunted past. Another step has been taken to rehabilitation. You are progressing quite nicely.
Our master bestows words of praise upon you. You'd better feel honored.
By the by, more curious information has found its way to your ears. A scientist's research. It seems that world may secretly be known after all. Furthermore, that very research has been stolen and is now used by those with malicious intent. I wonder how this will change the approach you take toward your rehabilitation. Allow me to grant you a new power, worthy of your current self. Though you have my aid, be sure not to let your guard down, otherwise you may get swept off your feet.
All right.
We shall meet again in the near future.
Time to go, inmate.